AskReddit by Will Trunt 16. Go to work naked day is now a mandatory national holiday. Which jobs have the worst outcome from this? Insulation installers. Pink fiberglass everywhere. Edit. Which job has never been in a pornoid app and amp? UTM source equals share and amp. Context equals 3. As an electrical apprentice who has been crawling around an attic all day, I can comfortably say fuck pink insulation and the hoasmatherapist who made that shit so itchy. As a chemist, I think I'll just call in sick. Now I'm pretty sure DCM is good for your skin. Jackhammer operator. I think the unhindered jangling of your bits while operating a jackhammer would be mesmerizing. Maybe even like a fan that goes at the exact right speed so that it appears to not be moving at all. Magician. Hey mister, where were you hiding those handkerchiefs? Fry cook. Kitchen work in general. I'm a chef. Judging by the amount of burns on my arms, I would burn my dick off in like an hour. The adult industry would experience confusion over who belongs in front versus behind the camera. Cameraman finally gets to shoot his shot. Firefighters. Use your hose. No, the other one. Literally a recurring nightmare of mine. I am a teacher. Older kids 12-18. Same. I teach 13-year-olds. This is my back to school leave nightmare. I would keep a sick day aside just for this. Welders. Ooh, spicy raindrops. Party clown. Even worse if it is for a child's birthday. Look, children. A dachshund squeaky noises and now it's a giraffe squeaky noises and now it's a teddy bear. Screams of horrified children. I think I'd have it pretty rough as security. He's got a piece on him. Yeah, I'll say. Edit. Thank you for the awards. I'm glad people are enjoying this as much as I did typing it out. Job with both the best and worst. Waitressing or anything with tips. My friend was waitressing and was wearing a skirt that was a bit too big for her. She was carrying a tray of food. Her skirt fell to the floor. She was just standing there in front of her table, and the entire restaurant, in just a G-string. She had to stop and carefully put down the tray before pulling her skirt back up, and then of course continue to serve them the rest of the evening after humiliating herself. Edit. For all those asking, I am not sure about the tip, sorry. I really hope it was good. Also, I agree that G-string and a skirt is a dangerous game. It was a pretty conservative skirt, but still. I'm guessing she learned her lesson. Haha. Astronauts Mayo. Naked in a spacesuit. Deleted. Poor Steve-O. Construction workers or polar explorer. Do the construction workers get to use the tool belt? Well, at my job I sit in a small, private room with one kid at a time all day, so, I'm gonna say my job. Child psychologist or child psychiatrist. Septic tank divers. On the upside, if they need to take a dump they can just do it without having to stop working. Deleted. I actually knew a person that did this. Her job was to provide therapy to violent sexual offenders inside a prison. Surprisingly, she said she really only felt unsafe a couple times. Of course, part of that was because she carried around a buzzer at all time that would swarm the room with guards. Grade school teachers. People who are homeschooled are freaking out RN. Strippers. Less business that day, probably. Everyone is at Hooters. They'd be called dressers for the day. Anything that isn't working in an office. I've seen the guys that work in an office. I really don't think I'd be comfortable seeing more of them. Middle school teacher. Imagine the comments by immature teen boys. I know someone in this job who looked young for her age and was only about 4.5 feet tall. She had an entire suite of mom is pissed body language and facial expressions to cow whole rooms full of kids, and pretty much had to, purely as a defensive measure. Specialized trauma victim psychologist. Oh dear. Military, especially in an active war zone. I don't know man. If a dude is crazy enough to charge at me nude, my first instinct might be to run and not let the nude dude wrestle me to the ground. I work on the North Slope in Alaska. Very cold PP. Deleted. God awful being a groomer. I get enough hair splinters wearing clothes. Hair splinters ? Mall Santas. Edit. My most upvoted post is about naked mall Santas LMAO. Bravo. This one got me. Pope. Deleted. Stripping would probably take a huge hit for the day. Everyone with a fetish or just a desire to see people naked can go literally anywhere else. Working in a cranberry marsh seems like a really bad one. Do cranberries have thorns? Or is it the spiders? No idea, but packed public transport is going to be a weird experience. Disease centers and biohazard handlers. Software engineer. Not from a safety standpoint, but I don't want to see these people naked. Software engineer here. Can attest. I'm a children's psychologist. So, yeah, I'd probably call in sick that day, or get sick after my first meeting. You actually have it the best. Think of all the kids you'll traumatize and who'll need your help to overcome it. Alligator feeder at zoo. This is normal in Florida. It's hot in Florida, man ain't got time to get dressed before angling him some gator. Doctors. Yeah, I was thinking surgeons. They wear layers and layers of protective clothing to minimize the spread of infections. Take away their clothing and we'll have a lot more dead people in the world. People giving sexual harassment seminars. Okay, I'm a lead now. Rule number 1 of how to not sexually harass. Don't be naked. I volunteered to provide an example of what not to do. Elementary school teacher. I feel like a high school teacher might have more awkward time. Elementary kids might giggle about it, but teenagers would get much more distracted. Line cooks. I was a deli cook for one of the top 3 big truck stops in the US. They never cleaned the grill vents to the overhead exhaust hood. I shot a laser thermometer at the pavement outside, in the sun, in Florida, and it was cooler than the temp 2 feet above my head indoors. They also removed our water fountains because of COVID and forced us to purchase water. Even our sodas from the fountain were taken directly out of our pay. Hello, OSHA violation. If I could have stripped, I would. People working in a freezer. People working in labs. Deleted. It's a holiday, stay home. Welp. I'm a preschool teacher, so I'll probably get thrown in jail and put on a list. High-rise window cleaners. Mechanics. You go to weld an exhaust on a car and sparks start flying all over your Peter and sister. PE teacher. As a female who works in an all-male prison, I'm gonna dip out on that one. No thank you. Oil rig workers.